are letting ambiguity guide you at this time. You're letting your need for needing to know the answers and have everything figured out kind of just take a passenger seat or like the back seat of your life at this time. I'm getting there's also been this layered energy that you guys are moving into, like this unapologetic space. And this could have to do with the Aquarius North Node and Leo South Node transmission that we just had not too long ago. I think it was like maybe a couple weeks ago. You're okay with letting others, like kind of like letting others do them. And you're not putting any additional investment or energy into disappointment at this time, like letting people disappoint you, or kind of just like understanding that the ways that people show up is a reflection of how they have learned to survive. If anybody's familiar with the song Blue by Billie Eilish, there's a part of the song where she says, I don't hate you and I don't blame you. And something about like, I can't save you. That feels significant for this energy for some reason. You guys are kind of like in this radical self-protective space where you're not interested in pursuing those kinds of dynamics anymore, where you have to almost put on a mask for other people to give like the relationship validity or legitimacy. I really am like picking up on you guys are on your North Node path. So if you're familiar with the astrological like natal birth charts, or your natal chart, it's kind of like a redundant thing to say, but you can go into your natal chart and figure out where your North Node is, which essentially is wherever that place is in your chart, that zodiac sign in that house. It kind of gives you an idea of what you're meant to step into as like this most authentic, influential version of yourself in this lifetime that is deeply gratifying and deeply aligned. And those two words are kind of synonymous, right? Alignment brings fulfillment and it brings gratitude. And so it's kind of like, it's all 333 as I say that. It's like a positive feedback loop. Yeah, you've grown an understanding of yourself in a way that defies expectations of other people. Like, I'm getting for a lot of you, you have recently had people in your energetic orbit that have projected onto you because there is this kind of tension point where instead of them wanting to build acceptance or lean into this discomfort that you are becoming, or you have become a different person, and therefore the dynamic looks different, and it might be provoking or evoking this dissonance with these other people in your field to kind of like be called to go deeper or like get a better understanding of themselves so that they can meet you and understand you. They're kind of just, there's resistance that they are emitting because they aren't like on the same frequency or like their healing path. Maybe the timing is off, But I'm getting for a lot of you, you're in this period where you're outgrowing a lot of people. But you're no longer a version of yourself that allows yourself to stick around for less, or things that are not aligned for you, because you have your appreciation or your understanding of your energetic blueprint has grown, it has enhanced. And so you understand that it not only would be counterproductive, but it would set you back. I think a lot of you also are getting okay with the idea that you can still hold reverence for people and still wish them well, and understand that their role in your life either is going to look different or it's not going to be existent. I think a lot of you have been exercising your throat chakra of like speaking your truth lately, and not moving in a way that is not authentic and not, what's the word? Just, I guess, most aligned to you, to your truth. Yeah, this collective is really, you have taken time to process and master and kind of, to really truly understand the nuance of sovereignty of self. And this is, the same collective where it's like you really had to understand other people first. Like, that part of your journey you weren't offered or permitted the space to know yourself. And I think that's what gives you such a proclivity to understand other people, and that you felt that that was your role and your purpose for such a long time that you really couldn't see another way around existing in that space, right? But it's beautiful because this collective, as you have allowed yourself space in and like communing with your inner child and your frequency, your authentic frequency, like stripped down, unfiltered, that like raw frequency that you hold. Yeah, that's beautiful. Like, you guys have like fallen in love with yourself, but like fallen in love with the truest version of yourself that exists completely outside of projection or expectation of others. For some reason, I saw flowers in my mind's eye, like kind of like in a field of like daisies or sunflowers. You guys are in your blooming season. You had fertilized others' soil for so long that when you went on this journey of self and you started to heal, you started to realize how like the potency of the energy that you put behind connection. And you started to realize, like, the more astutely you observed your dynamics and your relational dynamics and your patterns, right? You realized that you were existing in a way that truly was just depleting your honest essence. That's what this chapter is. It's like a get back. It's like a taking back the authority to be called and to be allowed to be who you are, who you are meant to be. And I'm getting, for a lot of you, the dissonance or like the emotional resistance to disappointing others is really falling away at this time. sure, like there's still part of your ego and your human self that feels discomfort towards the experience of that. But you've also realized that amazing things, truly alchemical things, happen when you choose yourself in the process. And not just choosing yourself, but by being able to choose yourself from a place of love that's rooted in authenticity and power and strength, you figured out exactly where you can choose other people too. So it's actually strengthened your ability and your effectiveness for being a support for other people, for being a guide in people's journeys. You're very magnetic at this time because you have blocked out the noise. You have moved into this place of interdimensional understanding. It literally surpasses like the understanding that what am I trying to say? Like, we all come into this world with an understanding or like this wisdom, right, from source that is instilled into us. And then of course, on the human experience, we have experiences that kind of dilute the essence of who we are. And the purpose is to remember again, right? I'm getting another like aerodynamic analogy, but it's kind of like when the plane lands, and it can kind of be like landings can be rough, right? Because you've been so far departed from the ground for so long that when you're coming back and you're making contact, it's like you do a few skips along the way, right? Where you get glimpses and you make contact with yourself, and it feels intense, right? And it's like, oh, that goes against everything that was programmed into me or instilled into me, and I don't know how to feel about that. And it's kind of like that dissonance that is kind of pervasive. But that's why it's dissonance, right? It's dissonant because your body has a knowing of who you are, like your truest self. And it's always a battle between like the body and the brain. And that's why I think somatic work and nervous system healing is just so important, because you can't really ground into yourself if you're not rooted, if you haven't grown the roots to hold that capacity to come home. And so it's happening fast. It feels like a pretty like rapid descent into, yeah, it's like your homecoming for yourself. So as the plane's like landing, you know, it's like trying to get that traction back to the ground, but the momentum is just, you know, causing it to skip a little bit before that consistent contact, right, with the ground. Might have encountered a lot of turbulence to get there. You also might go back up into the sky at some points. But I'm getting like, for a lot of you, you feel well prepared. You feel there's a sense of feeling equipped for the rest of what life on earth holds for you. Yeah, because there has been a new seed that has been like, that has grown, and you have birthed literally a new concept of what it means to be successful and resilient. There's such a element of radical trust here. And you guys really understand like what your North Star is, what your guiding, driving factor is. It doesn't seem to be super muddled or muddied right now for you. Yeah, it's like really a homecoming at this time. feel like such a tenderness in my heart. Like this energy is a little emotional, but like in a good way, like a fulfilling, whole-bodied experience kind of way. It feels very centered. And I think for a lot of you, gratitude has been like the primary source or like channel for accessing this true self. You kind of have chosen to go the path of most resistance, the path less traveled by, and recognizing that some experiences, a lot of experiences in life are transient, and getting okay with like being knocked off of your feet, the instability of it all. Yeah, this collective has gone through a lot though. Maybe look at like where Chiron is in your natal chart. But I am getting like, for this collective, your wounds become your tools. They become your story. They become your, the book of knowledge that you write, basically, is what I heard. And you guys didn't break from it. Like you could have, like, I'm also hearing that, like, for a lot of you, the things that you guys have gone through, it's like some people couldn't even sit with, like, hearing your story, much less experience it and live it. I'm really proud of this collective. This feels very healing. It feels honorable. It feels expansive. It's something about like simultaneously holding grief and gratitude at the same time, and that's what makes you so powerful, so potent. And that's also why you're being blessed. You're very innovative. You never, like for a lot of you, you don't ever see the end as like the end, if that makes sense. Like there's always a story that's forming from, maybe it is from an ending, but it's like, okay, like I'm gonna write another book, or I'm gonna, you know, like turn the page. It's not, okay, well, I guess this part of my path has to die off. It's not really like you're looking at it through that lens, right? You're looking at everything from like an evolved lens. You're allowing your essence to evolve and transcend and inspire and unite, really. Because I am getting like a strong sense of leadership. You're meant to like unite people, bring people together. Your energy is healing on its own. Some of you might be healers, seers, empaths. Like I'm seeing Reiki as well. You don't have to be. You definitely don't have to be part of this collective. You've become special to yourself. You've outgrown the chapter where you have to be significant to other people. There's almost like this quiet inner knowing that you are significant to other people, even if you haven't met them yet in the 3D, even if, yeah, like your 5D is really letting you embrace and sink into the organization and the orchestration that's taking place for your life at this time. So you all are in a very confident, poised energy. And you don't have to rush the process, is what I heard. There's something about slowing down right now that's important to this process. Where your body goes, your mind follows. If you can allow yourself to feel grounded and make space for the right here, right now, eventually, and as in a process, right, your mind will start to ease up. Is what I heard. Your mind will take ease and follow the example that your body is leading. So, yeah. That's just what it is. There's so much acceptance right now. There's a comfort about where you are, even knowing that like things are coming in for you, but just like being or having gratitude for where things are right now. Not even just like the unfolding, but literally just where things are settling now. It's a divine, transcendental gratitude. It's really hard to explain, but I feel it, so I know you guys can feel it too. But that frequency is very strong, and so just holding that, especially as we're moving into the peak of the Lionsgate portal. Venus did just move into Libra today, so I think that's pretty cool because Venus is exalted in Libra. It's like meant to be in the sign of Libra. So things might just feel more beautiful also right now. You might notice things, or like you're appreciating things that you never really had noticed before. I'm seeing like there's a lot of affinity towards plant life or animals at this time. I'm seeing like small get-togethers too with like friends or family. That's going to be very meaningful for you all. But also your time with yourself, meditating, journaling, spending time in nature. Like, yeah, life feels romantic right now. That's what it is. You're like romanticizing existence in itself. 2212 as I say that. This energy is divine. There's such a grounded level of acceptance for the idea that you are exactly where you are meant to be right now. Because existence isn't like, logic doesn't have to be a prerequisite for existence, right? So I'm getting for a lot of you, you're just allowing yourself to exist. And yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of I think, therefore I am right now. It's like I am, therefore I am. I be, therefore I am, right? I'm being. So therefore I am because I exist. Yeah. Drink this in. And don't forget, for the Lionsgate portal, let's call this energy in. Let's add to this energy. Like, yes, please, more of this, right? It's such a beautiful way of like understanding. Yeah. Because this can be cultivated at any time. Life begins the moment you understand that understanding doesn't equal satisfaction. I just channeled that. There's a lot of things that give value to life outside of being able to quantify it or understand it or measure it. Life just is. So a lot of spiritual frameworks, they base their meaning off of just existence being valuable in itself. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you're just in a period where you're really enjoying what's here without needing to look ahead, to feel ahead. And that's typically when a lot of your manifestations come in, because you just know it's going to happen, but you're not really concerned about the when, where, what, how, who. some of you are gonna mess around and be so in love with your own energy and your life force that you're gonna have a divine counterpart come in. I'm not gonna lie, like that's still been, it's been like lingering in the orbit of the collective's energy for a lot of you. Even if like you're in whatever stage of relationship you're in, right? And if you're with somebody, obviously, then like take it how it resonates. It could just mean that your relationship is going to evolve as well. But there is something about partnership here that but right now you're in this place of like really enjoying yourself. So that's beautiful too. Because like what a gift it is to really get to know and sit down with this version of yourself, but also give reverence and credence to all the other versions of you that have culminated into this version, this now version of you, right? Yeah, enjoy the ride. So I think that's it. I feel like there's like more I could say, but just know you're in a very divine time. It almost feels like a portal, but that's probably because the Lion's Gate is coming up. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's the message. So if this resonated with you, if this is your current energy, you can feel free to book with me if you want a personal reading. The link will be in the description below. I feel like I was like kind of like in between channeling, but also like coming back to land the message. And my Lionsgate meditation experience will be in the link below as well if you want to check that out and you're looking for something to kind of add to or enhance the energy of that day. It's coming up in 2 days. It's going to be on August 8th. So yeah, that will also be in the link below if you want to look at that. And I think that's it. So I will see you guys on the other side of that. And yeah, just keep being you. Your energy is resolute and it's potent. So sending you guys so much love. Thank you for being here today. And I will talk to you very soon.